right now because it's something, it's like, just come home and be nourished for a bit, right? And taking better care of yourself, catch your breath. Many people came out of May like with their, like hair maybe a little bit tousled up and like maybe even like, oh my gosh, I got kind of roughed up in May because May, especially if you have kids in school, right? That school age time frame, May is nuts, right? You have all these class field trips and parties and graduations. And so it's just felt really, really good. Lots of you in the chat box are saying, thank you so much. Karen saying it's wonderful. I'm getting so much from your glow up challenge, Kathy. Thank you. Yes, see you at 2 p.m. Eastern. Yesterday was awesome. It's been wonderful. So we're just nourishing a lot of the good. And so I've gathered some of my favorite humans. You are one of those favorite humans, Andy, so don't feel bad. But Ashley and I are going to have a good conversation about emotional health and essential oils for that, as well as glowing skincare, right? And talking about my Glow Blend and putting quality products on your skin. And so we're just having a great week. If anyone wants to join it, if you're not there, it's free. You can access also the recordings in case you've missed day 1 and 2. No worries, no stress. You can go to tiffanyspeaks.com/glow to get registered and connected. We have a Telegram group, which is an app on Samsung or iPhone. It's like a voice walkie-talkie type app. We're meeting in the Telegram as a community, and then we're having daily Zooms. And so if you go there, tiffanyspeaks.com/glow to get registered, you will be able to get connected to all of those spaces and get caught up. So that really, it's been full this week. We've got a lot going on with creation and movement. I'm also in the process of applications and interviews for my summer mastermind, which I'm just loving who's coming together for that, and creation and some play and fun too, right? I mean, a little bit of the mix.
I love it.
It's June, baby.
It's June. It's summertime.
We love the summer.
Such a good vibe.
How about you? What's up for you and what's new for you, my friend?
I am going through an audiobook, Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And he is rocking my world. So I just did one of his meditations this morning. And, he reinforces so much of what we talk about here, just that everything is energy and gratitude in advance and getting into the energy of success before you actually have success, and celebrating wins. And it's such good stuff. He was talking about, is it cerulean photography? Is that what it's called, where they take a picture of your aura?
Ooh.
Anyways, it's not like, I don't think there's any hard science to it, but basically, it got me thinking, what if you could take a picture of someone's energy? Like, what if you could, like scientifically gauge, where's your optimism? Where's your belief? Where's your just vivaciousness? And oh, thank you, Tim. Cerulean. I don't know how you pronounce that, but how cool would it be if, it doesn't have to be this guessing game of how's my energy. You could literally take a snapshot of it. And then as I was thinking about that, I was like, maybe you don't need to. Maybe everyone can see our energy all the time. And if we had the courage to ask, how's my energy? Like, how am I coming across today or this week or this season? Like if we're vulnerable enough and courageous enough, would we be open to hearing the world's feedback? So anyways, just kind of some fun thoughts as I'm listening to Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza. The Bibies have been going to his retreats over the past year, and it's totally rocked their worlds. They are big Joe heads now. And so we've been trying to get it on the calendar, but in fact, I think we've talked about it once here. We should all get together.
Yeah, if you sign up for that, please message me in the process of that. Send the
Awesome.
link.
Yeah, we have lots of team members who have been to so many Dr. Joe, especially our Australian team. They just love Dr. Joe. So anyways, great read. His meditations are just fabulous. So,
Yeah.
and it's not the kind of like, let's put you to sleep kind of meditation. A lot of his are like higher energy meditations. So like he has a walking meditation that I love. We did that several times in Mexico this year on the incentive trip. So just good stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I've listened to I've got the book Supernatural. I think I need to convert it to Audible. I'm much more likely, I think, getting through books consistently. So I have the hardcover and I've read part of it, but I listened on Audible to his full book called, what is it called?
Breaking the habit of being you.
Yeah, Breaking the Habit of Being You.
So
And it's just like, and I've listened to him on several podcasts, on other people's shows and YouTube videos. And I just love when we start thinking about our thinking. And it's like, am I in coherence, right? Am I in alignment with my thoughts and what I do want? Because
yeah.
our mind is a little mini movie of what we're focusing on and therefore what we're feeling and experiencing. And then what we're putting out in the world, right? Loves, like we already know that. It's just coming home to, we sometimes say the phrase, what we focus on expands. And it's just another way of saying, okay, how do I help practice coming into coherence, feeling, thinking, alignment work to what I do want and to the harmonious, more thoughts and feelings and so forth. But yes, I think he just has so much rich, great content. Thank you for sharing that. Another great resource of just like spending time. I love to call that sometimes as well, similar with its own little flair, different, is visit your vision. Is, last week we talked a little bit about this because we met the last day of the month, is just coming back to your vision. And one of the things that I was sharing, I'm part of my own little mini mastermind with some great women. And we were talking about setting 90-day goals, June, July, August, and dropping into is like, what do you want to create this summer? Personally, business, your health, your home, and just dropping in and revisiting that vision of what you want, where you're going, what you want to create. Because too often, if we're not aware, Andy, like it's so easy just to get on autopilot and deal with bright, shiny object-itis every single day. Like fire over here, fire over here. Oh, this text, this email. Oh, this funny thing that I'm connected to on social. Like it's just easy without intention or vision leading the show to get kind of distracted, right, loves? I mean, can all of you relate to that? Because even with knowing as much as I quote, know and coach and have studied over the years, I still, without practicing those things, guess what? I'm just as guilty of getting down those rabbit holes or getting hoodwinked or distracted or like, wait, what am I doing? It's like the thing that has the most emotion or the most brightness or urgency, sometimes trying to show up versus isn't always the most important or most valuable thing to be giving time and attention to. And so super powerful of coming home to some of those principles. I don't remember whose quote this is. I'm about to say I found it on Pinterest many years ago, is this quote that says, without vision, man or woman simply repeats the past. So putting that vision in front of us. And I think Dr. Joe Dispenza is really great about practicing your future self and aligning to your higher self and what it is that you are wanting to create and those desires. Oh yeah. Welcome to Wednesday, everyone. We're so glad that you're here. I'd love to know what's new and good or gratitude or if we're ready to transition into some coaching questions. Now, Andy, you have some fun travel coming up. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, so doTERRA has been offering the trip of a lifetime for the presidential trip for a few years, going to Jordan and Petra and doing some frankincense things over there. It hadn't come together because of COVID. So after being delayed 2 or 3 times, it's finally happening. So Natalie and I head out Friday, and we'll be doing the doTERRA trip and then a little add-on at the end going to Jerusalem. So super, super excited to
Oh my
connect with the
goodness.
owners, with dear, dear friends. Just love that community of people, high vibe people. So it's going to be fantastic, and I'll try to be better on social media and
Yeah, we
post.
want to see these things.
Okay.
But
Challenging.
how fun and how cool. I love that doTERRA does that. They have your presidential trip and they take such good care of you and the time to travel and nourish with great relationships. I mean, it's just such an incredible experience. You're going to go to Jerusalem.
Yeah, never been.
Oh,
That's
so
a
on my
bucket list.
bucket list.
I know, and especially this year when I'm doing a deep dive in the New Testament, it's like, yes.
Okay.
Even Old Testament last year, it's like that whole area is just so rich with history. So awesome.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Well, I love it. I have had a friend that was there earlier this year. She brought me home this little olive wood heart, and I have a tiny little nativity from Jerusalem and olive wood. But I actually want, I mean, if you have room in your suitcase, and I'll pay you for this, but I would love a little nativity set, and they carve it out of olive wood over there.
fun. How cool.
So, but regardless, it's like, oh my heavens, I'm so excited for you for that. That is a dream come true.
Yeah, doTERRA really just they do take such good care of their leaders, and this is one where they just kind of go over the top spoiling. So it's a treat. It's really fun, and I think there's a group over in Bulgaria right now. Emily Wright is over there. I think that was for the winners of the Prime Wellness Club, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but so yeah, it's fun to celebrate all the different winners and in all the different ways. So fun. So
look, Casey, will you read what Casey just posted in the chat box?
yeah, so she says, Andy, can you expand more on the rank retreats before convention?
That's Maria. We'll get
so the rank retreats are going to be really, really cool.
I promise, Maria, we're going to get to your question. No, I'm Casey Gonzalez.
Yeah,
in the chat box. I'll read it because maybe you can't.
It's an excellent question. No. We're really excited about the rank retreats. So,
but Casey, just so everyone knows that, because not everyone, some people are listening to this back in later time and they're not going to understand what's happening because they can't see the chat box because they're listening to a podcast. Casey Gonzalez, appreciate you, girl. Says, finally got my rose duet yesterday. It's amazing. And amazing is in all caps. I'm waiting for mine to show up. It's so weird. Like I haven't gotten mine yet.
Yeah, it's so weird. I'm getting some weird, something's happening with my connection. I can't.
Anyway, yeah, there's that. So
strange. So the rank retreats,
I think that I'm going to run your call for you the next 2 weeks while you're traveling in Jerusalem. Is that right? Yeah, 2 weeks of I'm going to run the show without you. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, rank retreats though. Let's get to that, guys.
Should be really fast.
Oh, look, Elaine got hers yesterday. Andrea's getting hers today.
Oh,
the FOMO just gets even bigger.
I guess all you have to do is go silver, and that's simple as that. So all you junior wellness advocates out there, just time to
this is so rich.
Buckle up.
Rich.
Okay.
Okay, rank retreats. Let's talk about that because we've got
we have
some good pre-convention events happening. Let's talk about those too.
And we want to hear about
we need to have people aware of those because they're rich and juicy.
Totally. And we just finished updating a really cool web page that has all of these events at one place. So go to sharesuccess.com/convention and you can get links to everything. So we have the rank retreats that are happening Monday and Tuesday. And that's going to be probably hosted at our house. And depending on how many people register, we'll break it down obviously by rank, but we're not sure how we're going to split up the ranks because we're going to watch registration. So it'll be rank specific training and it'll be focused on how to help you get the breakthrough that you're looking for to get to the next level. So a lot of mindset work. There'll be a lot of practical tips We've got an amazing team who's going to be training. It's just going to be really laser focused on where you are in your doTERRA journey and how to get you to the next level. So whatever your goals are, no matter where you've been, that doesn't matter if you have slipped back a few ranks, doesn't matter where you are. The goal is growth and breakthrough. But we also have an emotions training on Wednesday. And so that link is at the same webpage, sharesuccess.com/convention. And so that'll be going through the breakthrough worksheet, teaching people how to do emotional breakthrough for themselves or for others. Just a really simple but powerful process. So Tiff, tell us about your event and where they can find that.
Yes, love. So the link is myoilscoach.com. It's early bird pricing through July 1st. And what we're doing is different than my past years. Past years, if you've been there, we've been several hundred people, upwards to almost 1,000 people in a huge ballroom and doing a really large event, short amount of time. And this one, we're going to do a small, more intimate group in more of a large cabin home space that's about 45 minutes, 45 minutes, depends on traffic, from the Salt Lake City International Airport. So you can Uber there or carpool up with someone. It's in a gorgeous, gorgeous setting, private chef on site. And we're going to do what we're calling Nourish is the name of the retreat. And what we're going to be doing there is a combination of really nourishing you deeply into your own self-care habits and belief work and things like that, where you show up deeply for yourself. Because so much of attracting what you want is being in alignment to what you want. And then the second part of the day will be an all business strategy in growth strategy, from what you're creating in terms of content to your contacting strategies to the questions that you're asking. I love direct sales. I love network marketing, and I coach many 6 and even 7-figure top performers in a few different core companies. doTERRA is one of them. And so looking at what works overall, if you're building an organization, you're building a community, you're building a tribe, is some of those same things, they'll work in any company, right? Of what they're doing and what they're creating. And so helping you create growth, very much focused on business growth strategies, how to share your platform and purpose in a more intentional way to be more magnetic. So people are coming to you and saying, yes, I want more. So we're going to do a deep, rich day. Come get nourished in yourself, get nourished in your business. I will then be joining the Essential Emotions training on Wednesday. So my training is also Tuesday, the 12th. Andy and I are totally synced and aligned on that. When we first coordinated, he's laughing, but we're synced and aligned that you guys choose which one you feel drawn to, because either one's going to bless you. Andy is going to pop by the retreat a little bit later in the day. So he will be there at the Nourish retreat up in Heber. You'll get to see him there. So if you're like, I have to see Andy Goddard and get a photo with him, I understand it, guys. I mean, many of you probably have a poster of him, right? Like I had a poster of New Kids on the Block in my bedroom in the 7th grade. Some of you have Andy Goddard on the wall. I get it. So, but what we're synced on is truly choose what's best for you, but we're both creating high value experiences. We had a little mix up between Andy and Natalie's calendar and mine when we first connected to that. He was like, sis, I'm so sorry. I told you we were great, but we're actually doing this thing. So we're totally good with that, but we're both looking forward to that. We're excited to see you guys come to convention though. Make that decision. Whether you come in early for some of these additional trainings or not, and these retreats or not, it is so wise, you guys, to put yourself in the room. When you are thinking about this concept, I love one of Tony Robbins' quotes. He says, success leaves clues. Get in the room, right? Get to the doTERRA convention. Put yourself there. Put yourself in an environment with thriving, like-minded, successful-oriented people. Come learn from the founders and the executives and brush shoulders with lots of great people and come be nourished, right? Because then it's like, wow, I love always the months following convention, sales are always increased because people come get fuel. That's really what you could think of convention as fuel. And so we want you to come to convention regardless. You want to come in a day or two early and come to some pre-convention trainings, mine, Andy's, or both. Guess what? We'd love to have you and we'd love to support you. So anyway, that's what's coming up. We're stoked about it.
It's going to be fantastic. Thank you so much for everything you do, Tiff, to lift this community and all of us.
Yes. Well, I love it. I love this community. And I'm just so looking forward to that Rose duet that Christine King is even talking about too.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So let's open this up to some coaching. Raise your hand if you want to come on live. And the sheriff's, yes, the rank training that we're offering is 2 days. Tiffany's training is also 2 days.
No, mine's just one day.
Oh,
Mine's just Tuesday, the 12th.
just Tuesday. Okay, sorry.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Just for clarity.
Yep, perfect. Okay, awesome. We'll go ahead and raise your hand.
Let's just take a poll in the chat because I'm just curious. How many of you think Andy Goddard not should just ship this to me, but hand deliver with maybe some chocolates too, because it's taken a minute to get here. I really like a high-end dark chocolate, found a new great chocolate bar I can send you a link to. How many think Andy Goddard should show up here with the Rose Duet kit and chocolate? How many? Anyone else think that should happen?
Maria's a yes.
Okay.
Andrew is a yes.
Christine is a yes. Casey's a yes, of course. Jackie's an absolutely. Oh, Julie says with a charcuterie board. Julie, you and I are best friends. Come over right now.
You know, the problem with being friends with you, Tiffany,
Yeah.
is trying to guess what you want is just this, it's just this never ending, like,
Yeah.
head scratch. Like, I never ever know what it is that you want, you know, like you're that one friend that, like, if they only had that Amazon wish list, you know, then I could maybe know what it is that you want, but otherwise it's just total guess. So anyway,
Yeah, I don't think
feedback.
I think you mix me up with someone else. I think I'm real clear. Ask Brett. He can also give you ideas too. So let's go. Okay, let's do some coaching. I would love to support y'all. You guys, welcome to a new month, a new season. Truly, I just invite you, come in with intentional. Can you just choose in to be open, right? To seeing what wants to happen and what magic can happen. I loved our sharing last week. Was the gentleman that joined us last week, was his name Joel or Josh?
Yep, Joel.
J name, Joel. There we go. And just like talking through that together, celebrating those wins. I also loved our girl, is it Jennifer that joined us too? The flower farm. Or Christy.
So. Yeah, that was Christy Fiker. That's right.
Christy. Yeah.
Yep.
By the way, does anyone know her flower farm name? I want to follow them on Instagram. What's the flower farm name or her account there? I need to get connected to that because I really love flowers so much. And I follow already like 2 or 3 other accounts. Okay, someone's finding it. Thank you, Maria. I so appreciate that. So anyway, but I just loved our conversation about, we were, you know, a lot of people and wins and victories. And you guys, you really need to keep your thoughts in check. Some of you sometimes wander in the weeds. Speaking of flowers, I wasn't planning on making that direct correlation. But some of you wander in the weeds and you think thoughts like, oh, everyone already has oils or everyone already knows about oils. No, you guys, we've barely scratched the surface. Now, everyone you hang out with might be already connected to oils, or the majority of people who you hang out with are connected to oils. But the masses may know about them. The masses may have bought some at Target or Costco. No. We don't want them putting those on their skin or in their body. We really don't. You guys are advocates for wellness and clean ingredients, right? And helping people be the healthiest, happiest versions of themselves. Your tools help them do that, but you really have to catch your thoughts, right? And I think Joel was saying they had 11 enrollments in the month of May, right? And Christy had several herself. It's just like, we have to remind ourselves, like there's so many people you're already currently connected to, let alone who you might meet or through a friend of a friend. You never just know, loves. But what matters is you keep your light bright, right? Not a bright light from the 80s, but your light bright of joy and purpose about what you're sharing, what you're offering, how you can help support people to level up their life. Anyone on board for that this day, this week, this month, this summer? And if you come home to that energy, again, this is part of Joe Dispenza, you practice seeing that, feeling it, meditating on it. You just see like, I'm excited. Who am I going to connect with today or this week, this month? But if you wander in the weeds and think, oh, ho hum, I've already shared, or I should already be silver or gold or triple diamond by now, right? Like whatever, you got to catch your thoughts and come home to purpose again and again. And so even though I know no one asked that direct question, it so resurfaces and I'm so plugged into it and realizing like, my loves, you're regularly creating from your belief window. So clean it off, come back home again and again to like the mission, the purpose, the brightness is we've barely scratched the surface. When you look at big picture of people who are going to be interested and ready and wanting what you have, but you have to have your light on for them to find you.
Amen.
Right, Andy, do you want to talk further about that? Because you're regularly in coaching people in doTERRA like me day in and day out. You do even more of it, of course, than I do, day in, day out, week in, week out. And how often would you say belief and getting your alignment into belief is a major influence to where people are thriving or where people are struggling?
I mean, it's 100%. We were on a presidential trip with Melody Watts 3 years ago, and she was like, yeah, I just, I have this, someone in doTERRA told me that sales are going down and it's, the opportunity is gone, and I'm just kind of deciding, I'm already looking for other jobs. So this is a presidential diamond in doTERRA who's looking at other opportunities. And I was like, yeah, that's your choice. Meanwhile, we're launching a new team, and they are growing like gangbusters, and they're growing here in Utah. So your call, what you choose to believe and what vision you choose to feed, but that's not the vision I'm living into. And she came to some of our experienced doTERRAs, and she chose to shift her mindset. And since then, she's gone double diamond, so presidential plus diamond. And also our two leaders that we've been working with, who started at the beginning of COVID, both US Founders 2.0, both blue diamonds, crushing it, over 300,000 a month in volume. And that's new volume in Utah since the beginning of COVID. So anybody who tells me, it's just the opportunity is gone, it's tapped out, we've hit all the people who are going to listen, it's just not true. It's just a belief. And there's so much opportunity. We have, like you said, we've only scratched the surface.
Yeah, I mean, consider it's like, think about my industry. Do you guys know there's other life coaches out there? PS. I mean, is anyone else a life coach in the world? The whole internet is a life coach. PS. Right? Instagram, Facebook, the whole world. It's like doing life. And I know I do a combo life and sales coaching, but just think of it in that way too. I get it as like, is your industry or your market saturated? Of course. So, but what matters is if you keep showing up with a bright light, you're going to do fine. You're going to have plenty of opportunity, conversations. And when, again, we show up to serve, it's like, man, it just dials us in. And how much joy there is in doing that. And so you guys, I think of that as, yes, are there elements of like essential oils are now mainstream, which you could say, well, gosh, does that mean we're saturated? It means you have mass adaptation. When you have a product now in Costco, you have mass adaptation, right? Similar like years before when Vitamix and Blendtec and green smoothies started really hitting the scene and they weren't now on the fringe. They are mass adapted as a concept. However, the reality of like, again, quality and connection and education, how many people do you think are truly educated on essential oils or wellness products, right? And you just think to maybe a slight degree, right? Some people are for sure deeply educated, but the masses are still, it's like, you guys have so much to offer and provide. But if you turn your light down, they won't find you. You wander in the weeds and you kind of go, oh, ho hum. Guess what? It's like, I can't find you. It's like, you got to turn the light on. You got to have the candle outside of the, out and about, bright and light, not under a bushel, so to speak.
Exactly.
You have to be willing to be in ownership of, I have these gifts and these tools, and I'd love to help you. And if you stay in that lane, loves, you're going to still have plenty of opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I just wanted to lead out with that, is because that applies to any area of your life, your marriage, your relationships, your health, wellness, financial opportunities in your business. Is everything will come back home to belief. And when you can align belief and align your energy and not have to do it perfectly, right? You can be graceful to yourself. Absolutely. But you practice and you go, oops, yep. Oops, I got a little off track. That's okay. Just like when you're driving down a highway and you kind of like lane drift. Oops, I'm out of my lane, back in my lane, out of my lane, back in my lane. And you come home again and again to your lane, which is, I'm on purpose to help more people be healthier and happier. And I want to serve more, and I want to help people grow and progress. And in doing that, as Zig Ziglar would say, right? Some of you are too young to even know who Zig Ziglar is, but Zig Ziglar, like a main father of motivation from forever ago, would say, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. So anyway, I'm so glad we're here. I'm so happy to see your face, Maria. So if you want to share your share, let's drop into that.
Good day. Thanks for being here, as always. So I had a question in the chat, and I wasn't sure if this is scarcity. I don't think it is. I think it is wisdom. But when you start, I'm a lead, and needing to really keep on track with a lead and bringing up some other people, building up belief. And we talked about in the past, just doing the activities, and having this natural solutions, demos, and things like that will build belief. My question was more about, so I'm in a networking group, and many times I'm just getting like an inside referral, like they're just like reordering, they're not referring me out. And it's a big, like this group's a commitment. They expect you to get other referrals and things like that for people. And it's been brought up to me by my partner, just really watch my time as far as that. But then I'm thinking, what kind of energy am I bringing to that? Like I've invested in that, and finding your tribe, like I'm just wondering if I should continue that. But on the other hand, I feel like it's a place where like my kids are grown and I'm not out and about. Like, I think it's a place that I could grow. So just how do you like keep track of like, or monitor your time spent and energy spent in a certain lane when I want to maybe have a couple lanes going? Because this is a full-time thing for me. So any mindset?
That's a great question. Maybe I'll share a couple thoughts, and I'd love to hear yours, Tiff. So when it comes to networking, how much time, and if we were to define networking as investing into key relationships, if you were to ask how much time is too much time investing in key relationships, the answer is never. It's never too much. Now, obviously, we have competing needs and values. Like Natalie and I always put family and God first, and whatever else has space after that is what we work with. But I think what you're asking is, you have a really specific networking group that you can participate in, and the question is it a good investment of your time and energy? And I would just drop into, has it borne fruit so far? Does it attract the kind of people that you want to partner with, that you connect with on an energetic level? Or, I used to go to BNI and several other networking groups, and it was hard for me to connect with people who wanted to do doTERRA. I struggled. It was mostly men who were kind of laser focused on just building their little empire, whatever it was, window cleaning or software or web building.
Yeah.
So I would just first get into, get just energetically just drop in and ask yourself, is this networking group in my highest good? And for this season, right? So I would guess that for most of us on this call, the highest best good is mostly focused on my warm market first, and nourishing and nurturing those connections as we're looking for business partners, right? Now, customers, it's a different story, but in terms of just looking for key positions in your organization, that's where I would tend to focus. But Tiff, I'd love to hear some of your thoughts. How to prioritize times, especially when it comes to networking.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did have one follow-up thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So there is in this particular networking group today, it's called a B2B call, business to business. So I thought about that maybe being a strategy as far as finding some partners, because I agree with you. It's more like customers at this point. But go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, not at all, love. And I love this question. And I think, again, humans are your market, right? I do agree with Andy, is starting with your warmer market, whoever you already have relationships with, because sales is built heavily on people we know, like, and trust. So someone you've already known for a while, and been, whether you've known since college, or you've been next door neighbors, or you're in the same church or hobby groups together, you already have a connection with them. Those are folks easier, I believe, to connect with. Now, for some, ironically, they have more nerves to connect with that group because there's more invested, and it's like, ooh, what will they think of me? But similar, it's like if you asked Maria for my favorite risotto recipe, I'm going to be like, here you go, right? Or my top 3 favorite things to put on a charcuterie board, right? And here we go. I'm just going to share that. And so similar, it's like we share the things that we love. Sometimes why we get a little bit kinked up about sharing, quote, doTERRA is because there's a sale involved. And now we get a little weird about it. We don't need to get weird about it at all. We just stay in the energy of like, I share my favorite things. I share my recipes. I share my ideas. I share my essential oils, my tools, my meta power, right? So I just think that it's willingness, like Andy was saying, nourishing your warm market. BNI, like what's being said in the chat box, Christy says she's a president of her chapter. Her group says, she says, has a very feminine and nurturing energy. And so for her, she's like, this is a thriving spot, right? This is a thriving spot. But you know, you can try it out. And it's like, BNI is great. Meetup.com is potentially another great resource. eWomen Network was a networking group I participated in for a while years back. They're definitely out there in terms of formal networking groups. But wherever we're, quote, networking or connecting, they will require time and nourishment. Mm-hmm. I would come back to what Andy is saying, you know, again, is that discernment is spend you've been there several sessions and really dropping in is like, hey, is this resonating with me? Is this a nourishing space? I wouldn't always measure it of like exact fruit. I would consider that, meaning what outcomes, how many sales have come, so forth. I would look at your numbers. I would look at that. But more than that, it's like, is this a nourishing space where time and consistency, loves, is how you create success in any business?
Yeah. And
so if people consistently know you as this person with time, right, it's that, and maybe, you practicing, and feel free to practice here with us. I know at a BNI meeting, you get up and you share a little bit, and you might change up your message seasonally. Hey, Mother's Day gifts, or Father's Day, or summer this, or skincare this, or, summer skincare this, or immune cold and flu season, or, girls' night in ideas, that you're giving them ideas or ways to see about, wow, connecting with you on how you can support them, I think really is really valuable. But I love your willingness to grow and stretch and put yourself out there.
Yeah.
I think trying to say, gosh, am I going to get it perfect? Am I in the exact right spot? Andrea earlier said something really wise in the chat box, is the grass is green where you water it. Mm-hmm. And so what
True.
matters is if it's at BNI, awesome, you're watering that grass. And with time, it likely can produce outcomes. And if you join a mom's group or a book club group, or you join a different thing, it's like what you water grows. And so what matters is you're out there and you're doing it. And I would just, I mean, I bring my business to God regularly. And
Sure.
so I know not everyone presences to that language, but I would take it to prayer. God, where would you have me nourishing and spending time? But just realize for all of us, your life is going to be a faith walk. Your life is going to be a drop in, surrender, trust experiences. I regularly check in daily to the present moment. Like, where do you want me to be today? Or who do you want me to connect with? Is there anyone that you want me to connect with? And drop them on my mind and heart. And that happens for me regularly. Now, you guys, I'm not a saint. I don't think those thoughts all the time. Sometimes I'm thinking about peanut butter cups or how bugged I am with someone's behavior or choices. And I'm still a human working it out. Okay. Let's be clear. But I regularly practice like a Joe Dispenza. I practice. Show me who can I serve? Who needs me today? And sometimes it has to do with quote business. Many times it doesn't. But I'll tell you, so much business has come from me just showing up and adding value and connecting and watching how that evolves.
That's all very much wisdom. I'm there with you. Yeah, with me I get involved. I'm in like the membership committee. I love my chapter, but there are other, so it's bringing it all home, getting invested. And no, I will definitely continue to pray, and I'm looking for other ways. Like I noticed someone in the chat said they found value in a farmer's market, so I thought, well, that's another thing I'd like to do. But again, like Andy said at the beginning, you put your big rocks first. So I really appreciate the wisdom you shared today. And I will continue to nourish.
Yeah.
grow. So
I love that. Karen, thank you for that share too. Is again, you guys, is like, I mean, again, I'm the kind of person that loves a farmer's market, and I love therefore like, fresh produce and healthier things. And therefore, yes, an essential oil booth might be something that, of course, that's a great environment. So whether it's that or something where you think about, is this the right environment? And BNI may or may not be right for you, right? It's like some chapters, again, to like Christy's point, has a more nurturing vibe. Some are just going to be a little more different than that. And you're like, I'm not sure.
yeah,
But what matters is that you guys are showing up and doing things to help nourish your connections and meet more people and things like that. I think is valuable.
awesome. Well, thanks.
You're welcome.
Awesome. I think Karina had a question. So if you want to unmute yourself, Karina, we'd love to connect on that.
When it comes to doing I think it's Christy, love, not Karina.
Well, there were two.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Karina's just saying to us and hosts and panelists that she doesn't. So whoever, I'm great, whoever wants to pop in. One quick thing though, is if you do a trade show booth or farmer's market, I do invite you to consider like, what's your follow-up strategy, right? Are you going to do a giveaway where people write their name and email and their phone number down and connect, or maybe a little mini quiz, or hey, they get a free sample if they give you their information, or again, a giveaway of ways that you gather information and create a way to, like, whether you drop them on your email list and you nourish them, or you gather 10 names or so forth that then you email, text, and offer a wellness consultation, or let's do a connection call, something like that. Is definitely thinking about, is you'll get maybe a handful of people, just that day that see and that engage with you, but also having a follow-up strategy or a way of gathering information is taking that opportunity to your next level.
So true. Christy, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thanks for inviting me 2 weeks in a row. And I don't know if I have a question. I think I just wanted to be brave and just share how the week has gone. And I really appreciated the support with the membership overviews last week. And so I've had 5 in a row that have been not ready to set up LRP. And I think in the past that would have really discouraged me. And this time I feel like, okay, like I'm doing my job. Like they are just opening their things, finding things that they love, building trust, and I'm still showing up to work with them and love on them and nourish them. And so that that feels like a win. And some referrals have come out of it as well. And that's I've loved that. And I've had a little bit of a rough start to my getting back into midwifery. I had taken a 5-year pause and I've just gotten back in it, and it's been a little bit clunky. And with that, I feel like it's given me like this blessing with doTERRA, like it's like moved some energy for me of just being able to nourish in all the ways that I can offer. And so I'm really grateful. So it hasn't been butterflies and roses, and I'm feeling super grateful. So yeah, that's my share.
I love it.
Yeah.
What I love about what she just said is it's not all butterfly and roses, but I'm still super grateful. And I love, could you all write something down for me in your notes? And that is, gratitude is a choice and a practice, not just a feeling. Right? That we practice gratitude. We focus on, similar to Andrea's comment, what we water grows, what the grass is green where you water it is life is, do you realize that for all of us in this community right now, all of us, there are beautiful, rich things in our lives we're grateful for, from the homes we live in and clean water access to these amazing essential oils and tools, to great books and opportunity, to love, to food, to sales and income and enrollments, right? There's a lot of rich, things, and we all have messiness too, and stuff, from fears and frustrations, economic things, stuff up in the world or in your individual world, challenges with kiddos and life and loneliness and all the things. Like, life is beautiful and messy for every one of us.
Mm-hmm.
For me, for you, I'm just not always telling you all the things like, oh my gosh, hey, whoo, there's been a little bit of a circus in a family member's life for me this week. And you're like, wow, there's a whole lot going on. And, there's gratitude and grace and beauty. So thank you. What you just said is that, that we're alive though, right? We're alive in this beautiful messiness, and it's great and beautiful, and it's challenging and hard for every one of us and everyone, and various levels, right? Certain times, some things are more this or more that. But to come home to gratitude, I just know that with my whole soul, is like one of those core anchors. But we also choose it and we practice it. There's plenty of times I don't feel grateful. But what Andy let out with, I don't know if you guys caught that, but what he shared a nugget that was like $1 million gem when he was talking first thing about his Joe Dispenza meditations and the book Supernatural, is to be grateful in advance. Right? Because it's after the fact, reactive to a positive, what we'd associate a positive circumstance, versus proactive offering of the gift. Think about that, being grateful in advance. Powerful. So I just love your share. Thank you for keeping us in the loop of your growth and what's happening. Would you also share with us your Instagram handle for your flower farm?
Thank you. Yes. And that feels like a really fun new phase that it's all planted. So it's Glory Flower Farm VT. There's another gal in Tennessee who started Glory Flower Farm the same season as us. So it's really fun to cheer each other on. So mine has a VT after it. And thank you so much. And that's another huge blessing, because people come here and, we just had an article in the newspaper, a beautiful article, and it's so cool. It says, Christine Knut are celebrating their 10-year anniversary selling doTERRA essential oils. So it's fun. It talks about like flower farm in a bottle, and I feel really grateful.
That's fantastic.
A lot of work. Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming here, for showing up here, and in your circle of influence. Like that's I think the key message here is that we just keep showing up, stay in the practice, you know, the gift of unattachment. Like once you've truly experienced it, it's, you never want to go back, right? Like when I can show up and love without attachment, serve without attachment, pour into others and invest without attachment, then that's the key to freedom right there. So thanks for modeling that, friend.
Thank you so much.
I just love this group and community. Like, I just love them. Love all of you. Andy, we're going to miss you the next 2 weeks, but they'll be in good hands.
I trust you implicitly. So thank you so much for covering. And if the time lines up, maybe we'll hop on and say hello, but otherwise,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Hey, we'd love to see more photos and images of your trip, the
Okay.
yummy things you're eating. I want to hear the Meta Power Challenge once again, another European trip. I want you to get on a scale before you get on an airplane, and then we're going to watch this, right? But I want to see the Meta Power Challenge. Andy's a traveling, like, amazing experience with Meta Power. It's so good. I'm loving Meta Power, right? I know various things, some people know how it tastes and things like that, but it's like the ingredients in that little cocktail is just, you guys, you just mix a little water, get it in, there you go, good to go. So
Amen.
good. Anyway, have a great rest of your week. If you want to join me in the Glow Up Challenge, I invite you to do that. It's free, it's rich, it's valuable. You drop in at tiffanyspeaks.com/glow. Or if you forget, you want to reach out, you can reach me or my team, info@tiffanyspeaks.com, but it's simply my website /glow. Get connected there. There's a rich community of talking about all the various things that influence your glow in and out, right? Your own radiance. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. We'll see you guys here next Wednesday.